authorities Thursday. The Biden administration orchestrating a prisoner swap that sends a Russian arms dealer back to Moscow in exchange for the WNBA standout. The U.S. was also hoping to gain the release of former Marine Paul Whelan, who's been held for nearly 4 years, but Russia refused to make him a part of any deal. Russian state media released video of Griner boarding a plane and then being told she was returning to the United States, where she was expected to be reunited with her family by no later than Friday morning after undergoing a physical and mental evaluation. Her wife, Sherelle, joined President Biden at the White House for Thursday's announcement.
These past few months have been hell for Brittney and for Charlie and her entire family and all her teammates back home. People all across the country have learned about Brittney's story, advocated for her release, stood with her throughout this terrible ordeal. And I know that support meant a lot to her family. I'm glad to be able to say that Brittney's in good spirits. She's relieved to finally be heading home. And the fact remains that she's lost months of her life, experienced a needless trauma. She deserves space, privacy, and time with her loved ones to recover and heal from her time being wrongfully detained.
Today my family is whole, but as you all are aware, there's so many other families who are not whole. And so BG's not here to say this, but I will gladly speak on her behalf and say that BG and I will remain committed to the work of getting every American home, including Paul, whose family is in our hearts today. As we celebrate BG being home, we do understand that there are still people out here who are enduring what I endured the last 9 months of missing tremendously their loved ones. So thank you everybody for your support. And today's just a happy day for me and my family. So I'm gonna smile right now. Thank you.
Griner's squad, the Mercury, and the Suns released a joint statement which read in part, quote, "Miraculously, mercifully, the count of days detained has ended at 294, and our friend, our sister, is headed back home where she belongs. The emotions for our organization, just like for our fans and so many across the world, are those of joyous celebration, deep gratitude, grief for the time lost, and sincere hope for all families still awaiting the return of a loved one." BG strengthened this process. Her unwavering belief that resolution would come and the hope she displayed every day is what kept all of us believing this day would come.
I remember Kim Mulkey made a comment too, because she's the one that coached Brittney Griner from Baylor.
Platform and mission. We no longer have to bring BG home. She's on her way. ESPN investigative reporter TJ Quinn explains the timing of Griner's release.
They couldn't get an answer from Russia for all these months. And even just about 3 weeks ago, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister had made the statement that they were optimistic about a deal. And the U.S. State Department made an uncharacteristically strong statement then that said essentially, then act like it. Why aren't you negotiating behind channels? It was sometime in the weeks after that Russia finally came back with a counter-proposal. I had a White House official tell me this afternoon that the U.S. had actually proposed a one-for-one deal of Victor Bout for Paul Whelan, but Russia said they wouldn't consider it. So in the past week, the U.S. decided that they were not going to do any better than a one-for-one deal of Griner for Bout, that Russia would not entertain any offer about Paul Whelan. They told the president that this is the offer we think we can make, and that President Biden said last week, okay, let's do it. And then it was just the past 48 hours, sometime, actually I believe it was Monday in Moscow, when Brittney Griner was moved to a facility in Moscow to prepare for this deal.
As you might imagine, there was a wave of positive reaction throughout the day on social media, including an outpouring from the WNBA. Griner's Mercury teammate, Shea Petty, said, "We went from free BG to BG free." And Brianna Stewart, who counted every single day of Griner's captivity via Twitter, said 294 days, and she is coming home.